ever sit down at the piano ready to improvise, but then your hands just kind of freeze? You may have a really great chord progression, but all of your chords in your right hand just kind of seem the same, or you're not sure exactly what to do. I have the perfect trick for you. Today, I'm going to teach you a truly magical chord that works well in any chord progression, in any key, over major chords, minor chords, jazz chords, seventh chords. It doesn't matter what you're doing in your left hand. This is going to sound great in your right hand. I'm going to show you different ways of how to use this chord, and it's super simple to find. So come over to the piano. I can't wait to show you how this is done.
So the key that we're going to start out with today is C major, which is between C and C. So before we start any key or chord progression, we want to make sure that we play the scale in the key that we've chosen for the day. So the cool thing about C major is the fact that it's only white notes between C and C. Now I'm going to start out by showing these chord progressions in C major, but then if you keep watching, we're going to transpose these into different key signatures so that you can see the truth about how this magical chord works in every single key and over every single different kind of chord. Now that we know that we're in the key of C major, let's build the first chord in the key of C, which is built on the first note of the scale. So let's go up 3, 1, 2, 3. That leads us to E. And then we go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that leads us to G. So if we put all those together, that's our first number 1 chord. This is called number 1 because it's built on the first note of the scale. This chord is started by making a number 1 chord, but then we're going to take the third up, which is our E, and we're going to actually go down to the second note of the scale, which is a D. So now we have C, D, and G. And those are really the only notes that we're going to be playing today. So this is called a sus2 chord. So the sus2 chord replaces the third with the second, and that gives it a really open and airy sound to it, which is why I really love it. It also has a little bit of tension in there where it's begging to be resolved. But the neat thing is that if you play the sus2 chord in any key, which is this built the same exact way, it's going to sound great over all the chords. Let me give you an example to just show you. So if I play a C chord in my left hand, which is just C, E, G, and then over here play the sus2, listen to how that sounds. Isn't that beautiful? All right. So right now, let's put it together with a chord progression. So in our left hand, we're going to be doing a chord progression that's super popular, and it's in a lot of pop songs, really, really easy. So it's where we take the 1 chord, and then we go to the 6th chord, which is built on A, so it's an A, C, E. Then we go to our 4 chord, F major, and then we go up 1 to our 5 chord. And that's our 5, and then we end back on 1. So we're going 1, 6, 4, 5, 1. Now for right now, I'm just going to hit the root position chords, which are these stacked chords. And then in my right hand, I'm going to be just playing this chord together so you can hear what it sounds like. That's our 1 chord, 6 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord, and then back to 1. So now let's try to arpeggiate this in our right hand. Arpeggiating a chord simply means playing 1 note at a time. So it doesn't always mean that you have to go from the bottom to the top. You could also go from the top to the bottom, or from the middle to the outside, anything. So those are arpeggios of that sus2 chord. So now let's try this with our root position chords in our left hand, and I'm going to arpeggiate them as well. What you get to do at this point is to change up some of the rhythms that we have in our left hand and our right hand. All right, so I'm still going to be arpeggiating in my right hand, and you noticed sometimes that I did do it from the bottom to the top or top to bottom, and then sometimes it was just 1 note. And either way, it's gonna sound great. Let's try to just do octaves in our left hand. I like doing octaves as representative chords because it makes the sound a little bit more airy, simpler, and it doesn't sound quite as blocky as doing the full chord, which is what I love. So let's try octaves instead of the chords, like this. All right, and I'll move my left hand down an octave here so that I don't run into it. And in my right hand, I'm just going to arpeggiate that. So that's one option. Another option would be to put the fifth in there. So we, instead of just having the octave in the left hand, we could also use the fifth, which in this case would be G, and then we go down to A, with the fifth being the E, and so forth. So now let's give this one more try before we try a different chord progression and see if it works just as well. So did you also see that in my right hand that I also popped up an octave? So we have the choice right now of only doing those three notes. So we have C, D, and G, but it doesn't have to always stay there either. You can come up here. If you get stuck and you're feeling maybe a little bit of writer's block or creativity block in your improvisation, that happens to me sometimes, or I feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again, this is a great way to kind of bide time before you do other things, which is why I love it. And again, this will work in any key. So if you just hit these notes, it sounds like you're doing something really creative and cool, even though you're only playing three notes. Let's try another chord progression now in C, and this time I'm going to go from the one chord, which is our C, E, G, to our three chord, which is an E minor, E, G, B. Then we're going to 4, which is F, A, C, and then 5, G, B, D. All right, so we're doing 1, 3, 4, 5, and then 1. This chord progression is a very dramatic sounding one, but again, it's going to sound absolutely perfect with our sus2. So let's see what this sounds like together. And maybe let's try some different rhythms. That sounded great already. I like doing octaves that are kind of pounded out with this one. It reminds me almost of a sitcom on television, just the way that it travels, and it feels very strong to me, so that's what I'm kind of feeling at the moment. So now this time I'm going to calm it down a little bit and do the, instead of just octaves, I'm going to do the 5 in the middle and do some arpeggios, and let's see how we can make this sound different. If you like this chord progression, want to dive a little bit deeper into this one, check out this video which uses this chord progression, and I will show you a little bit more about how to expand the right hand, different patterns than the left hand. It's a really good one. So I'm now going to show you this same chord progression. Let's use the first one again, where we go from 1, 6, 4, 5, and then back to 1. And let's choose another key. So right now, let's try the key of E major. So E major has 4 sharps in there. So we have F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. If you want to dive a little bit deeper into the key of E major, go ahead and check out this video where I go into a beautiful chord progression in E major. For now, though, let's play the E major scale. And then coming back down, because we want to set our ears again, right? We were just playing in the key of C, we're now playing in the key of E, so I want to make sure that I have my ears now set to my new key. So now let's figure out in the key of E major, what is our 1 chord? And that is E, G sharp, and B. And remember, we take that 3rd out and we're going to move that to the 2nd note. So now we have E, F sharp, and B, which is our sus chord, and listen to that. So pretty. In our left hand, we have our 1 chord, E. I'll do them in root position actually. We'll do E, then we go to our C sharp minor, to A major, and then B major, and then back to E. Let's keep root position and just play our little sus chord and hear how this sounds in the key of E. And you can do any of the different patterns that we talked about in our left hand. You can try to expand that in your right hand, but as you know now what our sus chord is, you've got that. Let's look in just another key, just to make sure that we understand this totally. Let's look at the key of B flat. I'm just choosing one random flat key, which is our B flat, and then our random sharp key, which was the E. So for B flat, we have B flat and E flat. So let's play the scale really quickly, and then come back down. Okay. In the key of B flat, we have B flat, D, and F as our 1. So we're taking our 2 finger and we are replacing that with the second note of the scale, which was our C. And there it is. So we can do the same chord progression using this sus chord. Let's try this. So now you can just trust me that any of the keys that we pick, it doesn't matter, that sus2 chord is going to sound amazing with all the chords. Now for a bonus, let's go back to the key of C major. And I want to now show you how you can add the sus2 chord, not only play the sus2 the entire time, but we can add that as part of what we're doing with our right hand. So this is a little bit of a bonus. If you have practiced along with me and you have decided that you want to play a little bit more than just 1 chord, here you go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have this in the back of our heads, right? But at the same time, you can also think of different chords that you're playing. So for example, for the C chord in our left hand, you can also play the C, E, G here, or you can play any inversions. And again, check out this video if you want to look at how to specifically do different inversions in the key of C. It just means playing different chords in any order that you want. So for now, we're doing the 1, 6, 4, 5, back to the 1. In addition to any chords and any inversions, you can also use any of the different keys in the key of C, and it's going to sound great. But I'm going to add this sus2 chord in there just so you can hear how it just automatically elevates everything. It gives me a pause, a minute to think. If I'm like, oh, I don't know exactly what my hand is doing, that's okay. That's exactly what this is for, and I think you're going to love it. So let's create something beautiful right now. Not sure exactly what this is going to sound like, but let's figure it out together.
So have you ever tried this sus2 chord before, or is this a brand new concept? I would love to know in the comments below if you've ever heard of this, if you're looking forward to trying it. I love something that works in all the keys. That's why I love this so much. Check out the description box for all of the list of the different keys and videos that I've shown you in this video. If you want to dive deeper into them, get some questions answered about that particular key and that chord progression, I've got the videos all listed there. If there's anything that you'd like me to help you with or dive a little bit deeper into, just let me know in the comment box below. Until I see you again in the next video, I hope that you keep practicing hard. Check out this next video because I think that you're going to love it.